What's up, everyone? I'm here to bring you an update on VeChain. VeChain is currently breaking out bullishly from a wedge slash descending triangle. So in this video, I'm going to run through some technical analysis, talk about what I see happening with VeChain, both short-term and long-term. And folks, I'm going to tell you why you want to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to notify new uploads. Because right within this apex, I was saying if we break down, VeChain has a very good chance to falling into this purple box zone. That is where I would be looking to accumulate. That's where I would be looking to place my buy orders. That's exactly where we fell down to. And if you would have been following our videos and gotten in there, you could have been up well over 100% on VeChain. So folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads. So let's kind of describe and delve into what's happening here on the short term. So just to kind of describe what's going on here. So VeChain was in kind of this wedge formation here, okay? And we broke out bullishly. Now, let's kind of talk about what I think is the most important region to stay above of, which is 52, I'd say 53 cents for VeChain. Sorry, folks, sometimes I stumble over my words and say cents when I mean dollars. I look at a lot of coins and look at a lot of dollars and look at a lot of cents. So as long as we could stay above this VPVR point of control, which is 53 cents, I think VeChain is likely to see bullish continuation. This is where the most amount of volume is being traded, and if we are above this, that is very, very bullish. We also broke above this red resistance line, fell back down and retested as support. If this can hold as support, and if these green lines, slanted green lines here, can hold as support, I think we're very likely to see bullish continuation. I've highlighted some key resistance areas that we need to look out for, which is basically 57 cents to 57.5. Apart from that, 58.2 to 59, and then from that I'd say 603 to 610. I'm basing that off like previous wicks here. So all this range is going to act as resistance, basically all-time highs for VeChain, but I think these specific price targets are going to act as resistance. If and when VeChain can get above 6 cents, I do believe we have a very good chance of seeing bullish continuation, bringing us to about 8 cents. One of our fib levels line up there, and to be honest with you folks, this could also be interpreted as a bull flag, where we had a run up and then a downward movement in this downward moving channel, and we seem to be breaking bullishly, breaking out bullishly right now. So again, as long as we can maintain above 3 cents for VeChain, that is extremely bullish. I think we're very likely to see bullish continuation as well. Isn't it interesting how well we were reacting off my pitchforks here? It's almost like they're valid. It's almost like we know what I know what I'm talking about. Mess, and we run this channel together. He always finds it funny whenever I draw these pitchforks. He brings up good points, which is, whenever you want to do technical analysis, you want a chart that's very simplified, because you want something simple for the people, but these support and resistance lines are valid, folks. So I feel compelled to draw all these lines because I do think they're going to be price reactive. Now, there's a reason why I wanted to stay on the 6 hour, because the 6 hour is very important. These are the resistance levels, and those are my bullish price targets. But let's talk about the bearish price targets, because there's always a chance we could break down. And I think if we start breaking below these green slanted lines and below this blue support line on the pitchfork, I think we're likely to see bearish continuation. And if indeed we do break down, I want to bring up two immensely important support areas for VeChain, which is the 100 and 200 EMA on the 6 hour. Last time we pumped, dumped, found support on the 100 and the 200 on the 6 hour. Pumped, dumped, found support on the 100, pumped, dump, found support on the 100 and the 200. So the 100 and the 200 EMA on the 6 hour are extremely, extremely important support regions for VeChain. The 100 EMA is currently at just above 4 cents for VeChain. So I'd say 4 cents to 4.2 is going to be a very important support region as well. When we wick down, once we crash, that is exactly where we found support. So I think this is going to be a strong, strong support region if these areas over here cannot hold that support. This green box is where I would be looking dollar cost my way into VeChain if we broke down kind of the 5 cents to 482. Although, folks, there's a chance we don't break down. There's a chance we find support here or on this blue line. One could also look to dollar cost their way into VeChain on this blue line here or one of these green lines. But if that doesn't hold, I think we're likely to find support here. That's where I would begin dollar cost average my way into. If this region cannot hold, I do believe we have a good chance of seeing bearish continuation and falling to kind of the 4.2 to the 4 cents. Really, it's just the 100 EMA on the 6 hour, wherever that happens to be. And as well, the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, which is currently at 3.3. So I think 3.3 to the original breakout point from the macro ascending triangle, which is at 3.35, is going to be very, very strong support. if these two regions here cannot hold. I think that's the next strongest area of support. And another thing to mention here too, the 100 EMA on the 6 hours currently in the golden pocket, the 618 fib level. Basically, the 618 is where coins love falling back down to very often. Well, any security after pump, which is actually where we already fell back down to, folks. And we already did fall back within the 618. So we may be done correcting, especially if we can maintain above 5.3, folks. 5.3 is the key support level to look out for. Again, that's where the most volume was. So if we can maintain above that, I think we'll see bullish continuation. Let's pull out our indicators to get a sense of what's going on with VeChain. So, looking at the daily, let's start with the daily. The daily isn't looking bearish. Weighted MACD going down, histogram ticking down, so that's bearish. Weighted MACD, bearish crossover. Weighted MACD is a leading indicator on the regular MACD. Stochastic RSI on the way down, though had a bullish crossover. RSI oversold on the way down, so concerning. We're starting to see some weakness on the daily. 12-hour, yeah, bearish crossover on the 12-hour MACD. That is very not good to see, folks. Very no bueno. Although bullish crossover on the weighted MACD. So again, the weighted MACD is a leading indicator for the regular MACD. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the MACD reacts over the next few hours. And then look at this. We had a bearish crossover on the stochastic RSI. This is actually extremely bearish because not only do we have a bearish crossover recently, but we had a bearish crossover while attempting to go up. So the stochastic RSI is good for understanding shifts and trends. It typically wants to move from one extreme to the other, one extreme to the other. So when we are in one extreme and we're supposed to go to the other extreme, and we're starting to make that move to the opposite extreme, and we can't, and we have a bearish crossover, we go back down, it's telling you prices not want to go back up. So it's very bearish to see as well. Yeah, okay. So yeah, 12-hour looks bearish. Let's take a look at the 6. Yeah, 6 hour on the way down, stochastic on the way down, MACD on the way down. 6 hour looks bearish. Take a look at 4 hour. So 4 hour is where we're starting to see some signs of some strength here. MACD taking up histogram. Weighted MACD looks like it may want to have a bullish crossover soon. The blue line is starting to curve up a bit. Stochastic RSI bullish crossover. Regular RSI. Yeah, it's not. It made a higher low. So I see the RSI starting to do something very interesting, which is we're kind of forming this descending triangle with the RSI. We've already had a bit of bullish divergence, but it seems like we're getting more. Ooh, look at that! Look at that! So the RSI, I think, is in this wedge. Okay, whatever way the RSI breaks out of this wedge is going to be extremely telling for price action on the 4 hour. So if you were looking at the charts, I would have the 4 hour pulled up, and I would have a keen eye on the 4 hour RSI in this wedge. Whatever way we break out of this wedge for the RSI, I think is going to definitely have an effect on price action for sure. So 4 hour, interesting. We're seeing some bullishness with the stochastic. So let's take a look at the 2 hour. Yeah, 2 hour, okay. With some bullishness, stochastic RSI on the way up, weighted MACD on the way up, regular MACD ticking up, histogram, okay. Looks somewhat bullish. 1 hour, okay. 1 hour looking kind of bullish. MACD looks like it wants to have a bullish crossover. Weighted MACD already had one, stochastic already had one. And again, RSI is very indeterminate. So, see, we can even draw like a wedge here on the shorter time frame just to get a good sense of what's going on. Again, whatever way we break it out of this wedge on the RSI is going to be very telling for price action. And given that we got rejected off resistance here, and we're right up against support here, this is I could consider this like an apex. Like if we actually take, so just to kind of summarize here. Before we delve into kind of like the short term with VeChain, larger time frames, we're seeing some weakness. We're quite overextended, so we could have a pullback at any moment. I think just kind of the most important thing to look out for here is the price action, because we're right up against, different indicators are kind of telling us different things. We're not really getting a super strong confluence of reasons. So I think ultimately we just need to be keeping our eye out for these key support and resistance areas as well. I believe we can also draw, and the reason why I think we're getting such the reason why I think we're not getting confluence of reasons is because I think we're forming kind of more of a micro wedge with VeChain right now, with kind of this green line acting as a support and this line here acting as resistance. So whenever we're near an apex like this, which it means we're near a breakout, which means we're going to have a big move soon. Whatever way we break out of this micro wedge, I think is going to be very telling for future price action. If we break down bearishly from this, I think we're retesting our blue line here. If that doesn't hold, we're retesting my accumulation zone. And if we break above this red line here, I think we're retesting these previous resistance levels. So this is very interesting. VeChain is going to have a big move within the next half day, folks. Within the next half day, we're going to break out from this micro wedge. Now, to kind of just finish off with my long-term price predictions, folks, these long-term price predictions, just take them for fun, because nobody knows. I don't know for sure how high these coins are going to go or when they're going to reach their peak, but I do think the Bitcoin has a good chance of reaching a peak September, October this year, and VeChain and the altcoins are likely to reach their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. I'm basing that off the previous cycle where Ethereum and the altcoins reached their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin is going to reach some kind of peak September, October, because there's this chart by Trading Shot who does a good job of breaking down the Bitcoin cycles. You can find the chart I'm referring to in our Discord group. Link for that will be down below in the resources section. So Bitcoin basically moves in 4-year cycles based off the halvings. It's what drives the whole cycles in crypto. And according to that chart, Bitcoin is likely to reach its peak September, October this year. And based off the previous cycles, Ethereum and the altcoins, such as VeChain, likely to reach their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. In my opinion, I think something like that has a good chance of happening this time around. So by then, I think VeChain has a good chance of hitting 50 cents to $1. Take that as a guesstimate for fun, folks. I don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure. I'm going to be selling and scaling out more so based off time frames and less so based off specific price targets. I'm going to be looking to start to take some profits late third quarter, early fourth quarter this year, right before when the bull market is supposed to reach some kind of peak. So I highly suggest you consider considering such a strategy as well. So yeah, folks, look, if anything interesting further happens, we'll definitely be talking about it in our Discord group and on this channel. So folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon notified of new uploads as well. Just to kind of summarize here, these green boxes are my price accumulation zones. If we break down below these two key EMAs on the 6 hour, it's very bad news, very no bueno. I would be worried about VeChain no longer being short-term bullish if we break down below those two key support regions. And if we break out bullishly, make new all-time highs, I think that next impulse takes us to about 8 cents. So yeah, folks, look, if you guys like what we do on this channel and you want to support us, consider joining our Patreon. Again, link for that down in the description below. You get access to our VIP Discord group where we talk about the low-cap gems and interesting catalysts and setups that we're looking at. As well, we will be giving away a hardware wallet randomly to one of the first 100 Patreon members. So make sure you consider joining our Patreon. Link for that down in the description. Thank you for watching, folks. Take care.